I want to open up the floor for a couple of questions. I'm sure that some of you may have some, so here's your chance. If anybody has a question for Steve, knock it out. Anybody in the room? Ooh, how'd you do that? You scratching?
Yeah, I'm scratching.
All
This
right.
is like it's the multicultural show.
It is.
Please.
Now's your chance. Does anybody have a question? Yes, ma'am.
I'm with the YMCA, and I work with corporations. So my question for you is, where do you go to resources to help teach other people to do what you do?
Well, the interesting thing, thank you for asking, great question. I don't know if this will make a difference. I'll just scream louder, it's okay. If they don't speak English, just speak louder. So I started this with my simple belief. I didn't go to anybody but myself and my wife saying we had to make a difference. So I funded it myself, and at the end of the day, I believe if it's not making money, don't do it. If there's not an ROI, don't do it. The interesting thing about this model, and I'm rolling out a whole partnership with the manufacturer. I mean, I'm blessed to be doing this work. You know, I never even knew where vegetables came from myself, much less grow them and grow them profitably and efficaciously. So we are rolling out a model. The kids are inventing this new website. God willing, it'll be up in a week or two. But I put my information up here. It's supposed to be a .org. We didn't know. Yet another problem. I'm learning. I'm on the curve. But if you write me, I promise we'll connect you. But for me, I never wanted to be an organization that said, oh, please donate money, and then send you a thank you card. Oh, thank you so much for your donation. Please send another donation. I wanted to get off the ground and do something with small concentric circles of success. Technology is becoming cheaper and more affordable and more accessible. And when you learn to grow food more quickly and do add value things like bottling it and selling it for salsa, or doing things where people are coming and clipping their own dinner in an event for $10 a plate, wow, you can really start to make some money. So I invite you to all embrace your inner capitalist and go forward, because really that's what it's about. Capitalism done right can change the world. For the other 99%, and that's my model. But I'm happy to give you more details and happy to connect anybody to everybody. And just so you know, even being here today, I'm donating my speaking fees to starting up a whole nother teacher training center in the Bronx. So thank you all for having me, and that's the model. If we all do a little more and give a little more and ask for a little less, I think together we can all prosper and live a more robust life. And that's really what I try to do on a daily basis. Next.
Do we have another question?
You have certainly given us a lot of information. I'm with the City Health Department here in Houston. We have several community gardens that are located at our facilities. I have a question about, a lot of your growing was indoors, but I see you also had some rooftops and different things like that. What's your challenge with securing them and the community support for maintaining those? Because we kind of battle not only just the animals and the environment with our gardens, but sometimes as the community, we have to try to secure it.
It's all about getting the right stakeholders. Understand, I mean, I will tell you, in my communities, I'm not into arresting people, I'm into arresting behavior. So I don't want to criminalize anybody or anything, but I believe that when you give children and seniors a place that is both aspirational and inspirational and safe for them to congregate, you move other traffic away. And I'm not going to tell you life in the South Bronx is a bed of roses. I planted some gardens and, you know, we have no more drugs and no more prostitution and no more gangs. But we have moved that traffic elsewhere, and people take ownership, and it's a block by block thing. The reason I went indoors and rooftops is because, number one, I hate pigeons. I hate the sun. You know, I was a big 300-pound, big fat white guy with a bunch of minority kids, and it looked like slavery all summer outdoors. So when I went indoors, I didn't have to worry about pigeons. I didn't have to worry about weeds. I didn't have to worry about water fights and wet T-shirts, and, try getting on a train with a bunch of black kids and hoes and race. Osama bin Laden could have been on the train next to me, and we got arrested first. And that's okay. My wife came and got us. So I try to minimize those variables. When I tell people we are redefining hoeing in the South Bronx, they get a big kick out of that. And I'll leave it at that.
Do we have another question?
Hi, the wall gardens that you started, is that with the kids? Like, what's the most economical?
Okay, great question. I started with walls, those big metal contraptions. They're great, except they're very expensive and there's some issues with them. So we are now using these tower gardens. The tower gardens, actually kids can sell them, schools sell them and make money. It's much more affordable. I actually have schools that are just vending them and generating tons of money by putting them in all kinds of restaurants and win-win-win things, so the cost has come down. And for this educator, this administrator, this vetted principal, it is the most efficacious use of my funds. It's on wheels, it goes, it assembles. I go from a box to a garden in under 20 minutes.
Wow.
And the rest is magic learning, and I have all kinds of Common Core alignments to it. So that's really, and that's just me being on the curve. Like, imagine if I didn't have to do everything else, like balance budgets and deal with parents and like make sure people come to work every day. But that's the whole part. I don't expect everybody to be a champion teacher. I don't expect everybody to be a me. But I want to invent and kind of pioneer technologies and turnkey systems that are doable for everybody. And that's where I'm at right now. And I continue to embrace that. And we'll look to you guys to support me and look for your advice. And because you guys embrace this. To think that I'm speaking to all of you aligned with this common vision in one room for disparate interests, all to really change outcomes is spectacular. I mean, yeah, I want to get back to New York, but I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Steve. We'll let you sit down, drink your glass of water that is full.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. But you'll be called up shortly. Thank you. What enthusiasm, what intellect. He's really a joy.